Well, folks, it looks like the day we have all been waiting for has finally arrived. Meghan is now showing signs that she was going her separate ways from Harry. Just a small action made observant netizens notice. We will update and analyze specifically what happened in this video. So Meghan Markle has launched her brand new lifestyle brand and business venture, American Riviera Orchard. And an expert suspects that it shows that she has found her calling. Body language expert Darren Stanton explains that this transformation indicates that Meghan is ready to carve her own path, separate from her husband, Prince Harry. Well, honestly, folks, Meghan has always had a plan, and it looks like that hasn't changed. It is an ambitious plan for sure, to take herself as high as she can possibly go. Marrying a prince from the House of Windsor was only a small part of it. Now she's a duchess, but is that the end of this story? Well, you might think so, but maybe you need to think again. POTUS was mentioned a year or two ago, and it may still be on her agenda. Honestly, she's so delusional, it wouldn't surprise me if it was. And what about this split away from Harry? Well, sure, but just how far is she going to take things? Let's remember, Meghan Markle never dropped her name. She never just became the wife of Harry. She likes to be known as Meghan Markle, just as she's always been. But if she really is distancing herself from Harry, that could be significant. How significant, though, we don't know yet. So maybe now the title can finally be removed from Meghan and also the invisible children. Now legally, the monarch doesn't have the power to remove a family member's royal titles. It would in fact require an act of parliament to really happen. So maybe King Charles needs to get on with it and authorize parliament to just go ahead and make that decision to finally finish the job. Let's get rid of Meghan Markle for good. And maybe she's trying to dress things up with some videos and some fancy advertisements, but it's pretty clear to me Meghan Markle's true calling in life is to be a worker in a shop. But she should remember how few new startups really make it more than a few years. Maybe in the beginning she's going to have a little bit of novelty value, but that is not going to last for long. Because she's already entering an overcrowded field of these so-called celebrities who are trying to sell us assorted items. There's just too much stuff out there. And it would also be smart to remember that with the increase in cost of living, many people are avoiding more expensive items, and instead they're choosing budget options. It's also important to remember that Meghan has never been a big star. She was a very small-time actress on a cable TV show. Now, performing and smiling for the camera is what Meghan loves to do. Some of her best work has been over the last few months. Honestly, she hasn't really accomplished much in her life that's very impressive. When she got married, she didn't even hit the jackpot like she thought she did. I think she's in for another big disappointment when she starts trying to sell stuff. Meghan Markle has also let women down. I mean, she claims that she's this feminist, but what little girl would want to grow up to be like her? And Harry has certainly supported Meghan, but his work, whatever that means, is done all on his own. I think they have been separated for a while now, but they're not going to admit it publicly. So if and when Parliament finally makes the right decision and removes all the titles, and also removes them from the line of succession, I think it's going to be very dangerous. Because Meghan lives in a fantasy world. Meghan believed that she had a voice and she needed to use it to make a positive difference in the world, to help women feel empowered and heard in today's society. Now, Meghan Markle does have some skill in connecting with people. At least it seems that way in the beginning. How hard is it for her to comprehend that it was her negativity and not wanting to learn anything about the royal family that got her to where she is? Meghan Markle has never connected that well with people. It just seems that way. Just ask the employees who had to leave because she was so abusive towards them. Ask William, ask Catherine, ask Sophie. I think Meghan Markle just uses her voice to try to act superior to everybody else and exert her authority that she doesn't really have. And naturally, his family wasn't big fans of that. What exactly did she expect, though? She thought that she was going to have unlimited access to the crown jewels, and she thought she was going to get her own wing of Windsor Castle. Meghan has been scheming from the very beginning, and that hasn't changed. She's still trying to take herself as high as she can go on the social ladder. And, Meghan Markle, I think, still has her political ambitions. It's ridiculous, but again, she's pretty ridiculous too. And also, the separation from Harry, well, let's just see. I do think it's important to remember that Meghan Markle has always established herself as separate from Harry. Let's remember that this new business is hers and hers alone. So you can see the teaser for Meghan's website on Instagram, but they don't list a single product. They don't know what they're going to sell. She ordered a lot of stuff, I guess, but at least right now, all this Chinese crap is probably stuck somewhere in the ocean. And this is the same venture that no one is going to be excited about. It's going nowhere. No one's endorsing it. It doesn't even have anything on it. I mean, honestly, if she were on The Apprentice, she would have been fired in the very first episode. Harry really should have listened to his sister-in-law, Catherine. I think she tried to warn him what his future was going to be like if he stayed with Meghan. But no, he knew better. And now, look at him. I mean, this is a huge demotion from being a member of the royal family to trying to sell some jam. But they're not going to be able to come back to the royal family. That ship sailed a long time ago. If Meghan Markle cannot even make it in Hollywood, she also needs to give up these political ambitions. There's no way she could survive in Washington. And I know she tried to befriend the Obamas. That didn't work out either. Barack Obama never invited Harry or Meghan to his 60th birthday party, and it was very embarrassing for those two idiots. Information is also suggesting that in 3 weeks, Meghan has had a little over 500,000 people register their interest in this new website, but many of these are bots. And also, that's not even very successful when the big names have followers that number in the millions. Meghan doesn't have anything listed on there to sell either. It's just a website, and you're supposed to just trust that you can leave your email address and they won't misuse it. Judging by the lack of interest, I would say this is absolutely heading for failure. In the past, when Meghan wanted to leave and she wanted to convince Harry to go back to America with her, she said that she didn't feel safe in the UK. And, he was warned of this by the late Queen, that this was not going to work out. Harry cannot expect to get all the perks of the job when he's no longer a member of the royal family. And now they have their invisible children in the picture. Meghan Markle is never going to allow Harry to bring the kids there, probably because they're not real, but I don't believe she ever intended to allow such a thing. One day, I think Harry's going to realize what a mess he has gotten himself into, but by then, it's way too late. It's already too late. You see, when everything falls apart, and you know it's going to, they're going to have to look to Prince William to support them financially, or at least Harry is, but it's going to be way too late to repair those burned bridges. One thing is obvious. They are basically shunned by high society, the royal family in the UK, A-list celebrities in the States, and there's good reason for that. Harry was born one of the most privileged men of any generation. I mean, he was born in the lap of luxury, but he's got this chip on his shoulder that he can't let go of, in spite of the fact that he has had every opportunity, every privilege available to him. The people of the UK admired him since he was a little boy, and then this mattress actress enters her life. They are so toxic. And now they're living in a McMansion that could house hundreds of people, but at the same time, they're going to tell us we need to care more about homeless people. They take private jets everywhere and tell us that we need to reduce our carbon footprint. They are a couple of hypocrites. They have spent years throwing the royal family under the bus, trying to stir up drama, telling lies about the royals, and just sharing their toxic views wherever they go. How would any business or A-list celebrity want to connect with those two? There's just negative publicity about them everywhere you look. Obviously, all the years spent in the royal family, with everybody taking care of Harry, has made him convinced of his superiority over the public. Honestly, he probably believes that he's the center of the universe and we need to treat him accordingly. Why can't he ever accept the reality that for most people he's not all that impressive? He just looks like a spoiled man baby who's not very bright. But what about that comment that he made, what Meghan wants, Meghan gets? It's disgusting. That tells us that Harry has an overinflated ego and Meghan does too. There certainly is a difference, though, between fame and infamy. Either they don't realize that or they just don't care. Let's remember, too, every product brought from American Riviera Orchard is going to support the two of them, and it's going to reward Meghan for her goals to destroy the royal family. It's going to reward her for all the lies she's told and every attempt that she has had to undermine the monarchy and the country. Harry himself also admitted that he's a drug addict. Any money that he and Meghan get is going to contribute to his illegal purchase of hard drugs from drug dealers. And drug dealers, I know I've said it before and I'm going to say it again, are connected to drug cartels. Now, these are some really bad guys. I mean, they're guilty of rape and murder and all kinds of horrible stuff. So I don't think anybody should be spending their hard-earned money on American Riviera Orchard products. Alright, so in conclusion, let's remember what has happened here. Number one, Meghan's new venture hasn't made a penny and is probably not going to make anything in the future. Number two, Meghan is incredibly unpopular, both in the US and in the UK. She can't build a business on that. Number three, Meghan Markle listens to no one for advice. She doesn't listen to counsel direction, so she can never succeed. And also, without Meghan Markle's Duchess title, she's just plain old Meghan Markle. Failing in Hollywood over the last 4 years, and I don't think the future is going to be any different. So we have analyzed Meghan's new status, claiming that she wanted to be independent so that she wouldn't have to depend on Harry, and that she's probably going to leave him. We also clearly outline Harry and Meghan's views. What do you think about this content? Leave your thoughts below in the comments section, and we'll be so grateful when you can leave us a like, share, and subscription to the channel.